All right, everyone, welcome to another video, Full Speed Impulse, and today we're going to be making the world's smallest fully functional smudge pot. I have Googled this, and I did see this other guy, and he made a pretty darn small smudge pot using some type of Yeti can insulator, and then the other one was, looked like maybe just like a can of soup or something like that. So those are pretty small. Ours is going to be about the same size, maybe a smudge bigger, but we're going to make ours out of all sheets of steel and some pipe. So this one will hopefully be fully functional, and it's going to replicate the bigger smudge pot that we built. And if you guys haven't seen it, here it is. Kind of tucked over here in the corner a little bit, but there she is. Our Full Speed Impulse smudge pot. We built that out of all sheets of steel and then some pipe right there. And she came out really good. That's our adjuster. So, yeah. Today, we're going to make one that's somewhat similar to this one. And hopefully, puts out a little bit of heat. We just actually got done patching up, doing some framework. And we have some steel here left over. This guy right here is going to be good. We're going to cut this down and make our tank. And then we'll get back to you guys, and we're going to start welding it up. And then we also have to make it to where it bevels upward. And then we got like a 1-inch square stock that we're going to use for the pipe. And then we do have a secondary pipe that we're also going to be doing. So let's get at it. All right, it's coming along. We got our pieces of steel here. They're a little bit uneven, but we'll be able to grind that flush or fill with weld, whatever's needed. I've got a crazy idea, but I can't say it yet because I don't know if I can make it possible or not. But it would make this smudge pot unique if I was able to do it. And if you guys couldn't tell, our garage is completely destroyed from multiple projects going on at once. So just to keep in mind, our last smudge pot, the big one that we built, took about a month. So we're trying to do this one in about 2 hours. I got my mask on grind. All right. Once that thing cools off, we'll bring it back in here and we're gonna do our water test. We'll see how it goes. All right, we had to pour a bunch of water in it to cool it off, which, you know, it's great. I think we're gonna have a couple leaks still. So, let's pour the whole thing in. All right. Now, this is all wet from previously from overflowing it and cooling it all off. So what we're looking for is wherever that drip's coming from. So we definitely got a leak. right in there. Okay. Actually, and that was a spot I was like, ugh. That's where that steel was gapped up, where we kind of messed up at the beginning. And so that's no big deal. Fill that up real quick. Actually, I'll just fill that from the outside. On my other smudge pot, I did inside and outside, but I'm trying not to do too much over welding on this and use 2 spools on just a little baby smudge pot. This side looks pretty solid. That looks good. I think it's just that back side. Cool. And if we'll do one final test too with gasoline, and then we'll tack up any spots where it's leaking. So it'd be good. Well, that 2-hour mark is long gone, but we got it pretty cleaned up here. We actually did do some filler welds on the outside, and then we kind of grinded it pretty flush. We could have did a little bit more, but she's pretty good. So here's our leak test. Now, I would be pretty surprised if this thing was leaking now, because this thing is a pretty good soup bowl. All right, so for our next piece here, this steel is actually a little thinner. I don't think we're gonna need really heavy steel. We're just pretty much gonna line this up here at an angle. We're gonna cut, we're probably gonna do about an inch. So what I figure I'd do, I keep it on the inside like that. Wow, that actually, oh shoot, that's gonna fit like a glove. Okay, well, that's what we're gonna do. We'll go an inch in like that, inch in like that. We'll try to get our degrees pretty decent. Then we'll just put a flat piece of steel here, start welding that thing in. And instead of having to do all the measurements and all that nonsense, we'll just mock her up, and then we'll use the cutting wheel, get it close, and then grind it flush. If you know what I mean. If you don't, you'll see what I mean. And the camera might be a little shaky because I've been holding the grinder for the last 35 minutes. Just give me a break. All right, guys, we've been putting in some work on this old smudge pot, and we can finally reveal what we got in store for you guys. Mini dual stack smudge pot. So we got these tacked in here. They're actually different sizes a little bit. We just did rough cutting, and then we grinded them smooth. Just kind of mocked up our top plate here. Already got our holes drilled. And just, again, kind of rough mocking. We'll get it tacked up there. We'll grind it smooth, do some full welds. We got to work on our secondary pipe, which is this guy here, which is going to go off here because, again, we weren't perfect. This side does look like it has a smudge more of an angle. So we're going to bank off that. And then right now, before we do that, we're going to take our drill bit and we're going to drill our little vent holes through here. So we can be able to put it in the vise and just drill all the way through and just do a scatter of maybe 5, I would think. And then same thing, 5, 5, 5. And then these will be vented, and then we can continue to the next step. All right. It's coming along, guys, coming along. So once we get this all welded together in the stacks, it'll be really easy because we'll just be drilling a hole here, put a nut with the bolt. That's going to be our filler and our vent. Knock a hole through the side here, so that's why our secondary pipe goes in there, and then we'll be cleaning everything up with some welding, and then it should be done. It sounds like not a lot, but I guess actually we probably have another hour or 2 left in this thing. So we're going to get at it. Oh man, I don't think we hit record, guys. We got the top all welded up. We had to do some filler in, and then we went over it. That's why it's so thick on there. Now we're getting the stacks kind of lined up, and I'm just going to keep working around it. I'm going to go light because I don't want to burn through, because then it's going to be hard to rework these things. Especially the center, you're going to see a lot of me just tapping. Yep, that's hot. All right, so I just want to show you guys, in case you guys try building this yourself, what we did here. I really think this is more for show, but here's how your pipe kind of is supposed to work. It's supposed to have like a little bit of a turn down, so that way the heat goes up, flows through, down into here, it cycles, it's your secondary burn pipe, and then we notch that out there. So that's gonna go in there just like that. Just like that. And then we're going to drill a hole through here, which that will route down in there. And then that's gonna mock to that. So we could weld. Then we're gonna drill our hole first. That way it gives us a little bit of flexibility. And then we're gonna pretty much start tacking stuff up. And we're good, guys. We're gonna be firing this thing up real quick. So we're gonna finish this up. Drill a hole, like I said. Weld nut, bolt. We're gonna get that all done. And we're gonna get at it. And actually, I'm gonna drill the hole. I'm not gonna weld the nut yet. We're gonna do a pre-burn before, just because I want to make sure it's enough air if we don't have to maybe go bigger. So, all right, we're gonna fill it up for the first time with some diesel. Trying to get her lit here. All right, guys, we got the mini smudge pot going. We ended up taking one of those nuts off. We drilled the hole way out. We drilled the hole bigger, so now it's getting more airflow. And she's been burning pretty consistent this whole time. See here, the size. Put a bottle up next to it to kind of compare the size of this thing to get an idea how small this thing really is. The only problem right now is that we just lit this thing and didn't realize it was supposed to rain. So we got to get this thing shut off before it starts raining, or she's going to get really unhappy. Pretty cool. Puts off a little heat too. I'm pretty surprised. But great for putting like your citronella oil, if I'm saying that right, as far as for mosquitoes. Puts out a little smoke, but nothing crazy. Definitely great. Just perfect amount if you were trying to keep mosquitoes away. Or just looks cool. Just like that, we just put the bolts in and she already shut off. So we're gonna let this thing cool down and then we'll get it back in the garage. All right, guys, so that is our smudge pot. Ended up working out really well. All we did is we just drilled a bigger hole on the side, and then we went to shut it off. We just dropped that in like that, and then we still close this side up. All right, but yep, she's rough looking, but she definitely gets the job done. Definitely works good. Definitely smokes the right amount. Like I said, put an citronella oil in here, if I'm saying that right, for the mosquito killer. Definitely would work out probably pretty good. And it's just a cool little piece. Probably set on the bench most of the time. But this is a good replica because we always wanted to see the dual stacks work. We wanted to build a actual full-size dual stack smudge pot. Now we know it works. And I'm not saying that that's in the near plans, but it might be. And but for now, I mean, that's it, guys. We're gonna get some dirt bike content. I appreciate you guys watching, and you know the deal. Until next time, we'll see you later.